Hello, welcome. Let's have a quick one on this episode 22, still on resultant vectors. So, forces, resultant forces. Yeah. So, a body at rest is acted on by two forces, force one, force two. We have to express these forces in the vector column form. Then, more or less like finding the magnitude of that resultant, because the magnitude of the resultant force is given to us. We have to find the value of Q, which is the magnitude of the second force, and then find the direction of the resultant force. So how we transform this or resolve this into the vector column form, we know if I have the first force of a magnitude of 40 Newton, direction of 45 degree, to resolve that, my force 1 will be equals to 40 times the sine of the given angle, and 40 the cos of the given angle, representing the x and y component respectively. So we put that in our calculator and see the value. Okay, if we do that, we have decimal and set. Let's see if we can represent this in decimal form. Let's use the decimal. Since we'll be using it again, let's use the set so that all the values will be presented. So we have this for the x component. Then for the y component, we should have, I think, same answer, I guess. Yeah, we should have the same answer as in 20 root 2 and add the unit of measurement. Then let's resolve the second force, which is Q on the magnitude and 135 as the direction. So your force will now be Q multiplying the sine of 135 degree, then Q also multiply the cos of 135 degree. Remember, the Q is a scalar multiplying the value in there. So sine 135, it should be root 2 on 2. And this is multiplying. So as to have, let's say, Q multiplying root 2 on 2. And I guess this will be similar. If not, let's see, we have cos 135. That will be similar but negative. So I have negative Q root 2 on what? 2. We can also write this as 0.5 Q root 2, negative 0.5 Q root 2. I think that will also look nice. All right, we are done with the first part, which says express each of the forces in the column vector form. So we have the column vector form. Now, the magnitude. So here we need to find the resultant forces. The resultant force, which will be R, will be equals to force 1 plus what? The force 2. And what do we have as the force 1, force 2? The force 1 should give us 20 root 2, and down to be 20 root 2 as well. This is added on by Q root 2 on 2, negative Q root of 2 on 2. Alright, so in adding this, we can see that there is no way we can add and get actual value. So you only remove the inner bracket and combine them together to stand as one point. So here we can say our resultant equals to 20 root 2 plus Q over 2 root 2, similar. 20 root 2 minus Q over 2 root 2 as the Newton attached to it. So this becomes the magnitude, no? The resultant word vector in the first form. Now we need to find the magnitude. So the magnitude of R We know this is going to be magnitude of R equals to the square root of the square of the x component, which the x component will be 20 root 2 plus q on 2 root 2 all square, plus, I think I have to bring this one down, which will be 20 root 2 minus q on 2 root 2 all square. Remember, this is given in the question as what? 50 Newton. This very one. So we can write 50 Newton equals to all of this. But let's expand first and see. Remember, expanding of two binomial. Here, we square the first term. Meaning, if I square this, this is going to be 20 square times the root of 2 square. Root 2 square is 2. 20 square is what? 400 times 2 will give us 800 plus. Remember, what we are going to do here is a plus b all square. Square the first, that is a square, twice their product, 2ab, square the last. That is what we are doing. So we already square the first. So we need to have twice their product. That is 20 root 2, okay? 2 times 20 root 2 times q over 2 root 2. That is what we are doing. So 20 times 2, 40. 40 times half, that will be 20. Root 2 times root 2 will give you only what? 2. So 2 times your 20 give you 40, then the q will come. So that will give you 40 q plus square the last, as in q over 2 all square root 2 all square. This will be the square of this, q square over 4 times 2, cancel. So I will be having 1 over 2 q square from the first part of what? The bracket. Then we are now going to expand the second one also and see what it will be. Remember, it will be similar in terms of values. So this is going to be plus. So let me indicate the plus there. If I square the first term, I should be having this value again. That will be 800. So twice their product. This time, if I multiply by 2, the negative will take effect. So minus 2 times this, just like we have here, that will give you 40q. If you multiply this times this will give you 10, as in this and this, will give you 10q. This and this will be giving you what? 2. That's 20. 20 times 2, 40. We have that. Then minus square will become positive. So if I square this term, I should be having 1 over 2, I think, q square. Because if you square this, it will cancel. All right. Remember, all these are still under the square root. We are not discarding the square root. The board is too small, so we are not discarding the square root. So let me put it here to mean that it comes back to fit this. Now, all this will be equals to 50. So now this is the 50. So I am going to square both sides. So squaring both sides. If I square both sides, I should be having, let me maintain this since I have not written the 50 down. Let me maintain this as square of this equals to this. If you square this, the square root goes. And this becomes 800 plus 800. That will give you 1,600. Then 40q minus 40q will cancel. I should be left with half q square plus half q square will give you 1 of the q what? Square. I guess that is true. And here we can say that, but the r square become, or let me just say, but r equals to 50 what? Newton. So that when I put the 50 there, it will be squared. So if we transfer all this to the right, it becomes 50 square equals to 1600 plus what? Q square. And I think 50 square is 2500, 1600 Q square. Let's subtract 1600 from both sides. So 2500 minus 1600 equals to Q square. I believe if I add 400 to this, it will be 2000. 400 plus 500, 900. So I have 900 equals to Q square. Find the root of 900. The root of Q square. I think 30 times 30 give us 900. So that means Q is nothing but what? 30. If I can add a Newton to it. So we can see that this is going to be the value of what? Q, which we are asked to find. I think the first thing is to find the value of Q, then later on use it to find the direction. Now, if that is true, what will be the resultant? Then our resultant, which is this, is going to be 20 root 2 plus, I am putting in 30 here. 30 divided by 2 will give me 15. So 15 root 2 here will remain 20 root 2 minus 15 root 2. And I believe you can see root 2, meaning we can perform the addition of Z here. And if I do that, that will be giving me 20 plus 15, that will be 35, the root of 2. 20 minus 15, that will give you 5, the root of what? 2. So this is actually the resultant what? Force. This is the resultant force. Now we know the resultant force without any variable. What do we do next? We need to know the direction of this resultant what? Force. By representing this on the Cartesian plane, finding the acute angle with the x-axis, then we find the direction. Alright, let's represent this in our Cartesian plane. This is for the x-axis being positive, is moving on this axis. This is y-axis positive, meaning moving here. So our angle with the x-axis is going to be here. This is for the y-axis, therefore 5 root 2. This is on the x-axis, 35 root 2. So from this diagram, I can see that the tan of the angle theta equals to the opposite side, 5 root of 2 divided by 35 root of 2. I think this will cancel, so we'll be left with 1 on 7, and the 1 on 7 in decimal. Let's see, so we have theta equals to the tan inverse of what? 1 on 7. Let's see that on the calculator. So from here, we should be having 8.13, which we can approximate as 18 degree. We were told, 8 degree. We were told to leave our answer in the nearest whole number. So the actual, so if you find the actual direction measured from the north, remember this is not the direction of the force. This is a force you are looking for. This is not a direction. The direction is measured from the north. So it means that from here to here, we are not up to 90. Therefore, 90 degree minus 8 degree, and that will give us what? 82 degree, right? So therefore, our resultant force, which is R, is going to be, what is the magnitude we found? We found the magnitude, it was given to us as what? 50 Newton. What is the angle, direction, which is what? 82 degrees. So this becomes the actual representation of the resultant force in terms of magnitude and direction form. Guys, if you look at the steps we have taken so far, it is only to resolve the forces from magnitude, direction, magnitude form into vector form. From vector form, we find the magnitude, we find the angle, and that's all. Here, they only will meet one of the magnitude to make it a variable. I guess the concept is clear. All right, like, share, comment, and subscribe.